Yeah, so many. There you go. You want Charles today or Bertha or Pat? We can give back to Pat if you're okay. Go ahead, Carl. Whenever you're ready.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, with Indiana getting more time to practice as compared to earlier in the season, things are going to look different. But what at least jumps for you off the tape, when you're looking at this game as opposed to earlier in the season, whether it was here at home or on the road?
Their fluidity offensively, the last 5 games, they're top in the league with a lot of their offensive statistics. They're putting the ball in Aaliyah's hands a little bit, playmaking for her a little bit more. She's playing at a high level. Ultimately, they all are playing at a high level. Starts with Caitlin, without being said, knowing that she's, I think she's adjusted with some of the physicality and the tough coverages that she's seen, getting early drags in the possessions and then not just settling for taking, the threes, but also, finding the pocket passes and finding her teammates. So they're sharing the ball. If you look at their offensive numbers, they're sharing the ball. They're playing with some offensive efficiency and they're shooting the three at a high clip.
And then obviously with this homestand, you've still got a long way to go. But what have you liked getting these days of practice in, just after that stretch of the season where it was 7 road games and 9 games?
The efficiency of being at home. So you watch film, you get on the court, our players get their pre-practice work in and their post-practice work in, and you can just be more efficient with your time. And because of that, to have more practice time, to be at home, there is a comfort, but like I've been telling the group, we're not trying to be comfortable. We know that this stretch is important and there's an awareness to that. But our discipline has to stay intact. Our competitive spirit has to be there, and the way we approach the game has to be sharply focused, especially on these details of the different opponents that we're going to see during this stretch.
Back to kind of the changes compared to the past times that the Storm played. Fever specifically, Damiris Dantas is back today. She's activated. How does that change the way you play the Fever?
The first thing is that our attentiveness to the detail, to the defensive side of things has to be sharp. Our coverages, our schemes, the way in which we played last game defensively, we want to mimic that. But in for the entirety of the game, Damiris provides another big for them who can shoot. And obviously I talked about the 3-ball that Katie Lou is shooting at a high level, Mitchell, Caitlin. And honestly, if you look at the numbers, low numbers in attempts for Boston, but 50% means she's capable. So, Damiris is a pro. She's a vet. She's played if you watch all of her her EuroLeague season, she was balling overseas. And so there isn't some understanding that she has to get back into game speed and game shape. But at the end of the day, that's a pro who has a very good skill set, and we have to make sure we get to her.
Last game was obviously a fantastic one for you defensively, but on the season as a whole, for those who don't get to see you every single day, what do you feel like has allowed your group defensively to play at the level that they have?
Yeah, it starts at the point of attack. So having a point guard in Skylar who can pressure the ball and guard multiple positions, that sets the tone for us. We talk about Ezzy cleaning up a lot of our mistakes. Having her as a rim protector or a shot alterer is very important. And then you think about the steadiness of Jewel and NECA, and now adding Jordan into the mix. There's a lot of length on the floor. I think that we're connected. I think that we're communicating. And even, when the schemes aren't necessarily all the way correct, we find ways to land the plane and do the most aggressive thing. And I think that we're finding, we're having comfort in understanding that the defense can sustain us through our highs and lows of our offense.
I guess it's a good thing that we're asking about the defense as much as we are. But when you look back at Sunday, what really stood out about the way you guys defended against Connecticut?
The physicality. Normally, Connecticut beats us up in that area, and it wears us on us over the course of the game. And I thought that we sustained their physicality and we were physical as well. The run that we made, I thought, you think about the deflections, flying around, the steals, like all of that jump started our offense. But again, I think there is a want to and a buy-in on that side of the ball because we're very capable from 1 through 5, whoever's on the court. There's trust, and it's fun to see the defense flourish like that.
As much as Ezzy is a protector on the inside, is there someone who has helped spark that want to or that buy-in you've felt over the last few weeks?
Honestly, everyone. I think we understand the commitment level that has to come from everyone to want to step on the floor. You don't want to be the weakest link on the defensive end. You don't want to be that one that, gives up a middle drive or whatever it is, a KYP miscue. So I think there's a pride that's happening from the whole group and wanting to make sure that they aren't the ones that look bad defensively.
Let's take a couple questions from Zoom. Christian, go ahead, and then Christos after that. Christian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well. Over the last 4 games, Jordan is averaging around 12.5 points, a couple of rebounds, but most importantly, 2.3 assists, 2.3 steals, and a block. Really, over the last 6 or so games, just in general, she has really just adapted to really everything. Game speed, coming off of shoulder surgery. She's getting to her spots with relative ease. It really feels like players are kind of bouncing off of her. Just kind of wondering, what are you seeing during practice from her and her advancement to her second year in the league so far?
Focus. She knows what she can bring on the court defensively, and what she's doing on the offensive end is a testament to the work that she's been putting in. The questions that she's asking, communicating with her teammates, and just making sure she's clear and concise with what she needs to do, in her singular coverages, but also, what she's doing defensively is covering as well. Like her deflections matter, her steals matter, her ability to close out, and when we're in rotations, those things matter as well. So what I've seen is growth in her focus. It's intentional. It's, all the time. And the other thing is confidence for Jordan. When she sees things happening on the court, she's playing at a high level and seeing that success come, that does something for a young player to know that she's more than capable of helping us on both sides of the floor.
And one more, if I can, it feels like throughout certain processes of the game, especially against Indiana, especially the last 2 games, they have kind of had a trouble keep you guys out of the paint. Right now, they're allowing 4th most paint points in the game. And like you said earlier, it kind of starts at the point of attack, Skylar and Jewel, and them creating options off of those looks, getting to the rim. Just wondering if that's something that you guys touched on coming into this game.
Yeah, I touched on all the offensive things that Indiana is flourishing in, but defensively, we feel like that's where we can get them on that side of the ball. So as you're talking about the paint points that matter for us, that's the second chance points. That's getting downhill. That's what we do in transition. Those are areas where we feel like we can really flourish on the court against Indiana. And just, naturally, we talk about the post-ups and all those things. Sometimes paint points, we think only post, but, Skylar's getting in the paint, Jewel's ability to get in the paint, Jordan, what she's done in the paint. Those all matter, especially when you're trying to, get some offense flowing. If we can get layups and get easy looks, we're living in a good space.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Christian. And Christos, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, hope you're doing well. Speaking about the defensive effort of your team, do you feel that you are heading into the right direction game by game? And how important is to have consistency, and what you need to do to have consistency on that defensive effort?
What's the last part? How important what?
How important is to have what you need to do to having consistency on your defensive effort?
Yeah, just very proud of where we're at, almost at the midpoint of the season, and the numbers that our defenses are showing statistically. We're capable of defending in a variety of ways, from, what our guards are doing to what our posts are doing. It's a concerted effort to really hone in on that side of the basketball. We understand this league is very tough. Every night, the opponents, no matter what records say, the opponents are very tough. And you have to be a good defensive team in this league if you want to have some success. So the buy-in to that side of the basketball has been tremendous. And we're going to keep focusing on that. And as the offense, continues to find some chemistry, I think we're going to continue to hang our hat on the defensive side of the basketball.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you after the game, Coach.